All right. All right. Here we go. Back to you, Nathan.
All right. So, where we left off, Agent Marcus, uh, bespeckled, slightly pudgy, short-cut, graying hair individual, is walking with the four agents through this busy park. There's various folks running around, kicking like a soccer ball around. You see there's a small little band playing over in the corner. A few clowns are meandering around. Classic 1995 park behavior. And Agent Marcus turns to the four of you as kind of does like a little glance to each side. So, agents, you'll be working a thing we're going to be calling Operation Alice during this time. Um, it's a bit of it's a missing persons case. In fact, we have a missing girl named Abigail Wright. Um, and he shows you a picture uh, that he has. Abigail Wright is a local artist. She lives in the area, and she went. She vanished about. Well, she's reported missing on the 4th of June. Um, as you can guess, today is the 10th of August, so there's been a little bit of time in between her going missing uh, and when we're getting involved. Her father, Thomas Wright, is the one that pushed fairly quickly to see if she was missing. She had been well, he's very worried for her, and he's really shaking the tree, so to speak. We've had police officers going through her apartment, talking with her neighbors, that sort of thing. Um, well, and that's where the problem showed up. Her apartment is apparently in a state of some kind of disarray. Uh, you'll see what I'm talking about in a little bit. And he pauses as some people run by and turns back. One of the investigators notified through the line. We actually uh, there is a symbol on one of the walls that is associated with demonology. Um, I don't have a copy of it. I don't know anything about it. I can't help you there. Um, but obviously, it came to our collective interests when we see something like that. Um, Let me see. I think I have, and he reaches into this leather pouch, and he hands you a piece of paper, a cutout from the New York Post,
Hmm.
discussing the Kips Bay area.
Uh, can I see that photograph, please?
Absolutely. Go right ahead. In fact, you can keep that. You can keep the letter. I'll have a few more um, bits and bobs to give the group of you. Uh, you are officially here to help the FBI in their collection. Any of you that are associated with law enforcement, we've already run it up the line to get you assigned over here for this. Any of you that are not are you are being brought in as consultants, so you should have good access. We have had no problems with any of the officers so far in this. Um, Frankly, I think the police here just don't don't see a lot of interest in this. Just a lot of dead ends.
She
Hmm.
looks like she might hang out with metalheads. Did anyone do you know about the contents of her room, or she has an apartment? Yes.
She does have an apartment. That is, in fact, where you will be heading to document the insides, the interior of her apartment. I'm sorry. Um, you are to investigate the location, determine if there's anything unnatural afoot there. Um, if it is, you need to stop whatever is going on or completely destroy it. We are leaning to whatever you think is best in this case, but anything unnatural, as usual, we need to get rid of.
Duly noted.
How long was she missing before she was reported missing?
My impression was it was about 4 days since she disappeared, but of course we don't have a very good time frame beyond that. Her father, again, is the one that brought this up. He has some pull in the NYPD, so he was able to get this raised very quickly through that to get her investigated.
Did she have some sort of a health
No, she
Just here in
seemed-
this article, they found strange medical supplies.
to my knowledge, she was perfectly healthy. That does not appear to be a concern that has been raised up, but is perhaps something to look into.
What kind of an artist was she?
She did various painting, mixed media. She actually sold some paintings a while back, I think, but we haven't found anything of that kind, at least not to my knowledge.
All right.
What's the connection between this Anthony Scott? Is he maybe a person of interest in this? Have y'all talked to him yet?
Just a second. Oh, that's interesting. We have he's just there's nothing there as far as we can tell. He's just one of the people that the reporter kind of reached out to. As you can know, as he kind of established in the article, it's the area is not the safest after dark. So there are obviously some concerns that there was just a mugging gone awry. We don't fully know. We know there was an attempt, a mugging attempt, we believe, on her life in 1994. But we don't. That was never solved.
Jeez. Well, she doesn't look like she's much older than my own daughter. She's,
I would
she looks,
I wouldn't talk terribly much about your families in this environment there, Agent Unicorn, but yes, she is not a terribly old individual.
right. Yeah, I kind of forgot where we were. Sorry about that. Must be the cookies. Make me feel homey.
Right. So just to be clear too, is you are with the FBI. The other reason for that is that her credit card was stolen, we believe, and was actually found on August 4th. That's why the FBI is involved. It was across state lines. Looking into it, though, it looks like the credit card had just been taken. There's no path that we could find to follow from that.
So it wasn't used anywhere?
Yes, to buy cigarettes and whatnot in Maryland.
Undine is still holding the picture. I think I know her type, and we're going to learn a lot about her from just what she listens to. We need to get to that apartment.
I agree.
Yes, I would recommend that. From what I've been told of the situation there, you will... there's a lot to go through, to say the least. So, again, as a reminder, please investigate, document everything. We have resources there for you to use for documenting everything. Let's see. He pulls out this like little leather briefcase that he has, and he hands out temporary FBI credentials for all of you, with various code name or actual names that you guys would all remember and tell people, but I'm not going to make us come up with 4 random names. So you have your cover identities that I'm going to assume from now on you will use unless you say otherwise. He already handed you the article. He gives you an address that is labeled the McAllister Building. You can see it's on East 32nd Street in New York. He hands you a set of freshly made keys, apartment keys, he informs you, that are all marked "Do Not Duplicate," and then the Polaroid photograph that she took. And it is labeled Right A, 1st of June, 94.
And what's today's date?
It is the 10th of August.
Right
Okay.
is in a ritual right, or
WRIGHT.
I gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
Good
So,
question.
okay. So, credit card found in Maryland. Yeah. All right. Let's go check out this apartment.
Yep. Agent Updraft, you're saying that. You're saying, let's go check out this park. And you've kind of got your head on a swivel in this park. There's people bustling by every once in a while. You've had to stop and talk. And you catch out of the corner of your eye these performers. And you can see that there is a small clown there. And as you're kind of looking, some of the crowd's noise dies down, and you can hear this skipping kind of dirge played on a record that's going, matched by this relentless drum coming from within the crowd. And this clown is jumping around and has this paper dragon that it's tracing through the air. And you're watching and you see it goes, and it's making a shape in the air.
Can I see? Do I recognize the shape, or can I commit it to memory?
Make an int ×5 check.
All right. No, that's a fail.
Okay.
It's a 92 on a 60.
Yeah.
That's how we like to start.
Yeah,
Right?
Oh boy. Yeah, have those backup characters ready, folks. I'm just throwing it out there. And it is not it's repeating it, but it seems like there's always somebody just kind of in the way of you, Agent Updraft, as you're trying to get a look at this. And maybe you're up in your head trying to look.
Mm-hmm.
And do you do anything else?
I just see these performers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in particular, this one child clown, kind of this mask on its face with these square teeth, and just dancing to this dirge, skipping.
Have I ever seen anything like this? Is this
No, this is brand new.
this is abnormal even for abnormal?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to make a note of it. I mean, to be perfectly honest, I'm going to be aware of them, so I want to definitely keep an eye out if I see them anywhere else.
Okay.
But other than that, just street performers being street performers. Just write them off.
Yeah, and you turn back as Agent Marcus kind of goes, Agent Updraft, am I boring you over here?
Are we going to go to the department or not?
Oh, certainly, please go. Do you have any further questions for me?
No.
Okay, great. Absolutely. Well, do stay in contact with me, and he will give you a phone number. You may call that. I'll do my best to answer. It is not my main line, as you can imagine, but good luck. You know your job. Get to it. All right. And if no one else has anything, he will walk off whistling into the park, leaving one of you with that leather briefcase. And it sounds like we will cut. And we kind of have that scene of the four agents now standing in front of a 3-story brownstone building. A sign on the street says East 32nd Street. And you can see this brownstone does stand out a bit from the others because it has almost a Gothic feel to it. There's a fake portcullis above the door. There's some gargoyles put around little fake, what did they call them? Ramparts up the side of it. It looks very out of place with these other buildings around.
Like a German castle in the middle of New York.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, you kind of get
All right.
that feel. It's still a brownstone, so you can still be like, yeah, it still kind of looks like its neighbor, but it just has such that weird design to it that kind of stands out to you.
So does this look like temporary, like facade pieces, or is it that somebody actually went out there and like made ramparts and all of that and like attached it to the building?
Yeah, Agent Earthsign, you kind of go up and take a look up the side of it, and best you can tell, those were original. And I mean, they're not new, certainly, but you can see they're actually built into the building itself, into the McAllister building.
Undine walks up and stares up as well.
And it's about 5 o'clock at night, so there's some movement on the street. It's August, so it's not too warm, not too cold. Looking up, you can see the buildings. You don't see any lights on in the second or third story or the first. Like, there's nothing shining out from any of them. You do, since I should mention it, there is a basement door. This is New York, so the basement door is actually outside. So you have the door that goes up to the front, as well as the door to the basement on the front of the building.
Undine leans over to Ursine. Remember, when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
And I just kind of look up at him with this like confused look on my face
Tell me you've seen Ghostbusters.
and say, yes, of course I've seen Ghostbusters. I thought you were being serious. Whoever made this building was certainly intended it to be odd. That whoever designed this building had some other... They knew something. They had something in mind when they made this building. I'd like to later find out who the architect was.
It's just kind of how that movie sort of started.
Mm-hmm.
Well, up we go. Or down, and then up.
You would know from that, as she actually has a first level apartment. It will be the first one on the left as you go in, and you manage to buzz yourself in with the little intercom. It looks like that was installed 30, 40 years ago, maybe, so it's got that kind of harsh sound. The door unlocks, you go inside, and you find yourself in kind of a long hallway with the mailboxes next to you. They're all, like, the floor is just littered with these various food places. You know, the kind of junk mail that you just get is kind of piling up in this front area. But you can see that kind of covered linoleum leads to this kind of rich burgundy carpeting that leads further into the building. It's a New York building, so it's not like you're talking a wide hallway or anything, but it looks pretty nice here. Although time has not been incredibly kind to it. As you walk to Abigail's door, you can see it. She is, I believe, 1A, and you can very easily open the door. Let's see, what are people's alertnesses? Just looking to see who all notices. So Julia and Updraft, you're walking up to the door and you catch this, like, oh, that's weird. Like, it smells like epoxy. Like that very distinct epoxy smell.
At the door on the outside of the building?
Well,
Or
you're
at the door
inside.
to her
Yeah,
apartment.
to her apartment. Yeah, you
Okay.
can smell it, and you maybe take a step back, and it smells like it's coming through the door.
Epoxy. How
What?
odd. I wonder what they were using epoxy for. I guess we'll find out when we go in.
Lifting
She is an
fingerprints.
artist.
Or lifting fingerprints.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I want to feel the door.
Mhm.
Does it feel strange? Like hot, cold?
You're kind of feeling it. No, although you're kind of looking like you're looking around it. It's kind of, the carpet just kind of ends there. And that's one strange thing you notice. The other, yeah, you've got a high enough, is you're inspecting the door and you look down to the floor and there's a little bump in the carpet that you can see, like right where the door meets. So like the carpet moves across, bump moves across.
Okay.
Oh, before we get started, I put on some latex gloves. Anyone need a pair?
Oh, yes.
I
Why?
always have my own.
I'll take some.
I'll hand them over.
I always have some of my own. I have a bunch more in my kit too, if anybody needs any from my first aid kit.
Oh, I hope we don't need the first aid kit, honey.
I
That would,
take first aid kit everywhere I go.
would not be good if we need that.
Yeah, Updraft is just like, who are these people? He's just so caught off guard. He's like, is this real life? Is this what civilization is? And he's just like, okay. And he's just going to, reach up and unlock the door to open the door. And he's going to point down at the bump and be like, either someone changed the carpet without a stretcher and he's going to nudge at it with his toe. Is it something hard?
Your toe hits it and you kind of feel this little wire push up, and you kind of get down and look at it, and you recognize there's a little microphone, and you can see a cable that runs across the hallway into another apartment.
So yeah, he's going to point at it and then kind of trace his finger for the wire going across the hall. And he's going to point at Agent Undine. Without saying that, he's going to point at you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll deal with that. Across the hall and knock on the door.
Yeah, you do. Knock, knock, knock. Yep. There's a pause. And you do start hearing some footsteps approaching. And you actually hear a couple of footsteps behind you from the room as well, from Abigail's apartment. We will deal with Agent Undine. You knock on the door, and this particular individual greets you. A young man with kind of slicked backed hair. pops open the door after a bit. And he goes, yes, can I help you?
Ah, yes. Hi, and I flash my credentials.
Oh. Oh. Oh, you're looking into Abby's thing.
Correct. I assume you were on a first name basis with her if you call her Abby.
Yeah, well, sometimes I call her Laura too, but yeah, we're close. We're neighbors. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if
Have you found anything?
we just got here? Do you mind if I come in and ask you some questions?
No. Yeah, come right in.
Thank you. And as I enter the room, I will try to track where the cable goes.
Yes, you can track it. You see it coming out, and it kind of goes off to the side, and you see it ends in a recording thing with this a high-end stereo that's kind of off to the side.
I'm going to push Agent Urson by the elbow, like indicating she should follow him. But I'm standing right where I am with my hand on that doorknob.
Yeah. Well, we'll
okay.
get back to you. So this is perfect. So Undyne Ursine, you guys will be dealing with this individual, and the door will be opening behind Updraft and Unicorn. But inside is Ursine and Undyne. You walk into this young man's apartment. It's
When I walked in, I closed
Yeah.
the door behind me.
perfect. This place is very, you hate to say like austere because that's kind of pretentious, but it's it feels like a hotel room that somebody happens to live in. You don't see art, you don't see really anything of interest there. Of like there's like a potted plant, and that's about it. That really hits you. That and this very nice high-end stereo.
I was a bachelor myself once.
Yeah, exactly. So
What was your name again? I'm sorry, I missed
Oh.
it when I came in.
I'm sorry, I didn't say. I'm Thomas Manuel. I'm a painter,
Manuel.
a friend of Abby's.
You're a friend of Abby's, I see.
Mhm.
Wow, this is an excellent system.
Oh yeah, thanks.
What do you like to listen to?
Well, I mean, this and that. I'm kind of like whatever, you know. I'm not partial. Like I'm not picky about music. I like listening to all kinds of stuff, you know, new age, old age, rock and
Oh.
roll, you know.
Do you have anything here that you could play for us on this lovely stereo equipment?
Tangerine Dream, anything like that?
Yeah. And he will go and kind of find a CD that he pops out of a case and pops it in, and it's rock and roll, generic, non-rights infringing rock and roll.
It's obviously set up to be able to record as well, correct?
Yes, this stereo would be able to. It's got CD things. It's got tape trays that you can
Yeah.
see as well. Like
They would
this
have to
is
use a tape tray at this point. So
that's true. 1995 probably doesn't have CDs. He pops in a tape.
No,
Oh, they
had
have
CDs.
But did they?
They
I
got
don't know.
CDs in
I don't know
95.
time.
They
It's
had
just not-
CDs. Yeah, I
not
used to clean them.
rewritables.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, he pops in a CD, but you do see there are tape decks there.
Oh, you do some recording as well. What kind of stuff do you record?
What?
There's tape decks here. I mean, that's for making mixtapes and things. And there's something coming out of the mic spot. Wait a minute. And
Yeah.
I'll follow that down to the floor. What is... and I'll follow the cable back to the door.
And I'm watching Thomas very closely while this is going on.
Open the door. Walk across the hall.
Yeah. What is your human there?
Oh, yeah.
Julia. And you too, Adon.
It's 40, but I can roll it.
Yeah. Why don't the both of you roll your human?
37. So that's a pass.
Okay.
I did not pass.
Okay. Agent Ursine, you can see there is no look of recognition. And when Undyne like points out to where it truncates at Abigail's door, you'll note Updraft and Unicorn aren't there. We'll get back to them in a second. Thomas just kind of gives this look like I don't know what that is.
Undine leans down and looks.
Why would you have this set up in your room? I find it hard to believe that somebody would set this up if they weren't you.
I don't know. Maybe somebody came in and put some, like, I don't know why someone would do that.
It's a microphone.
Right.
Right.
How long have you lived here?
It's, man, how long has it been? Quite a while. He'll give you a number that's like, he's lived here a few years.
So I come walking back in. So you mean to tell me that there's a microphone that runs across to Abby's apartment door to your stereo equipment and you're unaware of it?
I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I don't know where that came from.
I'll start looking through what's loaded in the tape deck.
You pop it open. There's nothing in the tape deck.
This room, this apartment seems rather sparse for somebody who's lived here for as long as you have.
Spartan, yes.
Oh, yeah, I don't do my painting here. I do that in the basement. The night manager lets me use it.
Do you mind giving us a tour of the rest of the apartment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's no problem. Did you want all the apartments or mine?
Just yours.
Oh,
Just
okay.
yours for now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. And he'll start moving you around. I will give you a map just so you guys have kind of an idea of what the floor plan looks like here. Ooh, it's too big. I will give you a map later. The
No map for you.
Discord says no. You walk in kind of in here. You've really seen most of it as you go. You can check out the bathroom. There's a clawfoot tub in one of these. The whole area kind of has that old hotel feel to it. But obviously as apartments, you're really not seeing a lot of anything here. It's not a big apartment. It's New York, so there's not a lot. Could both of you give me a search since you're kind of
Sure.
doing around as he shows you?
I got a 60 out of 60. All right.
Ooh.
And I did not pass.
All right. You will notice as you're walking around, Agent Ursine, that the potted plant that is there, you notice there's actually a bit of a seam to it. And the plant itself, when you get close, that looks fake. There might be something in there. But he makes no mention of it. Obviously, he's just kind of pointing around. Yeah, that's the kitchen, and there. Do you need anything? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna get a little bit of food if you don't mind. I'm gonna go down and start painting soon. I like to paint at night.
We're almost done here. We won't take up too much more of your time.
Oh, okay.
When he goes to his fridge or whatever, I'll kind of look over his shoulder.
And as soon as he moves away, I'm going to take a look at that plant.
Go ahead and do one more search for me, Agent Undine.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, Agent Ursine, you look at the plant, you see that the base of it kind of has that crack, and you can kind of pop it a little bit, and you see there's a number of things stored in there. You see 3 audio cassettes, some papers, that are kind of dog-eared and pushed together in there. They're actually a little bent from how they're sitting, and a small bronze medallion.
I am going to take a quick look around, and if if Thomas is not in the room, I'm going to pocket all of it.
He's unfortunately not that far away in the kitchen. He's opening the fridge. You think you don't have any kind of stealth or anything?
Thomas,
Yeah.
do you have any coffee? I'm trying to get his attention. like-
Sure. He hands you a milk as he starts looking through his cabinet. And this is where your search comes in. You take a look at the milk,
Mhm.
and the milk looks like it expired 5 months ago. But you give it like a slosh because he handed it to you.
Mhm.
Maybe you take a whiff of it.
Sniff, yeah.
Perfect. Smells great. Smells like just good milk.
Hmm.
And Thomas turns around. Yeah. Here's some coffee.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I'll start making it. I guess you probably don't want the cold coffee. I haven't really gotten my night
tell ya.
supply yet. Yeah.
At this point in this job, I'll take any kind of coffee, cold,
Oh,
hot. but
okay.
I greatly appreciate it.
So, Agent Ursine, if you want to roll a stealth, are you trying to snag him? It sounds like.
Mm-hmm. I am.
Roll it a +20 because
Okay.
he's being a bit distracted.
All right. That is a 46 plus 20. That would be 26, and that is not enough.
Yeah. Excuse me. What's going on over there? Please don't touch my stuff.
I have to ask you a question about these cassette tapes,
What cassette tapes?
and I will show him the cassette tapes that I pulled out of this plant.
I don't know anything about those.
Oh, really? Well, if you don't know anything about them, would you mind if we listened to them?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, you can use the stereo, obviously.
Thank
Okay.
you, Thomas. I appreciate that.
So what we'll do is you go in, pop the tape in, you hit play, and time freezes. We rewind back as Agent Updraft, you've got your hand on the knob, you're opening the door, and you can see it opens from the other side. There is a man there wearing a Walkman that kind of jumps in surprise when he sees you. An African American man wearing a New York PD outfit, not looks like a detective, and he, pops off I almost took my own headphones off. Pops off the headphones and goes, "Oh, you guys must be with the FBI."
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Detective Giordanda.
Oh. Reach out my hand. Agent Hammonds. Edmund Hammonds.
Edmund Hammonds. I should probably write that down.
And hello, Detective. I'm Agent Samantha. Special Agent Samantha. Yes. Would you like a cookies, Sergeant?
I shouldn't have sweets before dinner. I'm sorry. I do have to be going pretty soon, but it's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry, I've been kind of helping out around here and stuff. I was expecting you guys to be here. I figured I could help you out if there was anything you need before I head out for the day. Oh wow, yeah, you haven't. This is the first time you've been here, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Be prepared. It's pretty wild in here. Oh, you already have gloves on. Awesome. You're gonna want those. Yeah,
Well-
come on and head in this way real quick. Careful of the step right there. She tore up all of the carpet. And I don't know where it is.
Looking
It's-
around, is it just carpet padding?
So
is the
yeah,
padding
it's kind
gone
of it's almost actually that like base linoleum level
Okay.
like
So the
stuff.
padding
yeah, and
gone
it's
too.
it's a little tacky. Yeah, like as you're walking across it,
Yeah.
like there's a little bit of stick to it.
Hmm.
And you were kind of focused on him. Now you're opening yourself up to the room, and as you start walking into her apartment, you are perhaps shocked at the state. There is nothing in this apartment in the way of furniture. Everything in this apartment has been stuck to the walls, which are this huge motley amalgamation of just nicks and knacks. There's hospital equipment. You see a wheelchair. There's walkie-talkies. They're like an old walkie-talkie, like army style, just stuck to the wall. You see textbooks. You see just pretty much anything you can think of. Like your mind is kind of boggling just looking at this room. This is, you're supposed to be here to document this. This is going to take days.
Okay, so real quick, I want to look back at Detective. What did you say your name was?
Oh, Detective Giradonda.
Giradonda. All right.
Yes,
Detective.
and he'll spell it out for you, just like I'm about to in the chat. Because yes,
Yeah, that one was a little.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna
and
be able to
I
get
will-
that one.
Yeah.
100%. I'm apologizing for all the names I mess up throughout the course of this. It's gonna be fun for all.
All right. So
Yeah.
all the stuff that's stuck to the wall, and I closed the door when we
Mhm.
came in. Is it stuck like hot glue almost on the outside of it, or is
You-
it like
yeah,
adhesive
you
on
take a-
one side?
You take a look and it is epoxied. There's like this fast dry kind of tack to it. And you maybe like give something an experimental just pull. You just kind of pick something random and pull. And it's on there pretty good. And you think kind of from what little bit of leverage you can get, there might even be something behind it. Like this is
Hmm.
just layered deep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
In the center of the room as well, you can see there are some white cardboard boxes that are all labeled evidence, FBI White Plains, Right A, 10th of August, 95. And he kind of points to that. Yeah, I brought those along for you. You're going to find cameras, film, that sort of stuff in there. Bags, more gloves, because you're going to need a lot of gloves for this. This wall really just kind of chews them up with how sticky it is. It's wild. Yeah, the manifest list is over there too. I have to say, I'm really glad you guys are doing this and not me.
Oh, you said you'd help, so we're gonna let you get some too. Don't worry.
No, well, I'm more of in an advisement capacity for you. I'm
Oh,
stepping
is-
out
is
of the way.
Is that what we do? The NYPD is going to advise the
The
FBI.
FBI, right?
Is
I
that
was
how this works,
informed-
Detective
I would
Giordano?
say in this case that the upper management of the FBI in this case let me know that I was to let you take charge of everything here, and I'm more than happy to do that.
I think I
we
see.
are going to need a hand, and we expect the NYPD to be able to help us out here.
Hey,
so we're
if there's-
helping you guys out.
Yes, if there's anything I can do to help, just let me know. But I'll be honest, this stuff reeks. And
What have you guys tried on this? Have you done anything to this?
I mean, we're, and he kind of pauses like, well, it is, a missing persons case. We're not really supposed to do a lot necessarily. And he himself, we haven't really done much stuff. We took some initial pictures and they got like taken up the chain, but yeah, I don't know.
So there's been no sampling, no attempts to remove anything.
Well, there was an attempt, and he points over in the corner, and you can see there's a like a hard plastic clamshell Walkman, somewhat similar to the one he's wearing, but a little older. And it is shattered. You can see the back of it has split off the wall, and like the batteries have bled a little bit onto stuff. It's like, yeah, one of our agents got a little grab happy, thought he could help out or find a clue, and kind of wrecked that. So yeah, we've pretty much just left it as is for now.
That was probably a smart thing to do. In the boxes, we have all the evidence bags, cameras,
Yep.
video cameras as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we might need you to operate that camera as we inventory the room. I like to take a video inventory and then break it down with still pictures of everything.
Okay.
So we can kind of point it out and describe it on video, and you can just kind of video us doing that. Would you mind helping in that way?
Oh man. Go ahead and make a bureaucracy or persuasion roll. I think either one is probably appropriate here.
Let's see.
We'd have decent.
They're both about the same, so I'll use bureaucracy.
Yeah, both about 40. Yeah.
That'll be a fail.
And he thinks like, tell you what, I'll help out if I can. Yeah. Monday. I can't do it on the weekend. I'm gonna get eaten alive if I spend all weekend in here again. I can tell you, home has been unfortunate with the smell.
I understand. I guess it'll be us for the weekend then.
Great. Yeah. Let me know if there's any way, anybody you need me to get in contact with, any guidance. I don't know if you've been in New York before. So yeah, anything I can help with, I'm more than happy to help with.
It's August 10th, 1995.
Mhm.
Yes. I believe that's a Friday, if I recall correctly.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday. All right. Yeah. Monday's when he can come back in.
Let me get your card, detective, so that
Sure.
we can talk. See, I have one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
He'll have his stuff.
Okay.
I assume officers have cards. If that's not something
detectives.
they would normally
In the
detectives,
90s,
yeah.
in the 90s, detectives
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
If that is something he would have, he has it.
Okay.
And one last question. What was the name of the officer or detective that destroyed the evidence on the wall, please?
Oh, sure.
Just so we can, make sure we have him logged as,
Yeah.
yeah. Eliminate him from the crime scene.
Well, that seems. Man, you FBI really don't.
Well, we
don't
don't want
mess
any
around,
contamination of the evidence, and we want to make sure that a police officer or detective doesn't wrongly get implicated in the charge.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. It's Officer Lozette.
Officer Lozette.
Losettee.
Lozette. Okay,
Lozette. Yep.
got it. And he's out of your same precinct, correct?
Correct.
All right. We'll be in touch with his patrol commander. All right, well, I guess we better get to work. It's going to be a long night.
Yeah, and you're looking around, and both of you go ahead and make an int ×5 roll. I think that's probably the best for both of you for in this case.
Okay. Negative.
Negative.
Yeah, 43 out of 80.
43 out of 80. All right. You get the impression that with the four of you, it's probably going to take about 3 days to go through all of this and take it all down. So if you're lucky, you might get home by you might be able to leave by the end of the weekend. So we're going to jump out as the two of you, as the camera kind of follows Giordanda out the door as he leaves, and you two are left in the middle of this debris of a room. And we see Agent Ursine and Undine sitting in front of this stereo, and Thomas goes, "Oh, sorry. Let me turn it on here," and it flips on. And what you hear are the sound, like you listen. There's kind of that static that you can tell it's recording, but you're not hearing anything. And there's briefly you might hear muffled footsteps walk by.
Since this is a fancy rig, I assume it has several different fast forward speeds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'll fast forward a little bit until we can hear something garbled because it'll come in as a high pitch if there's something there.
Yeah, and it goes, and does a
Pause, yeah.
and he's just kind of sitting there looking confused more than anything. As he's watching this thing go, you're not hearing anything. It just sounds like he was recording an empty apartment.
Try some of the other tapes.
Yeah, and you click those in, and same deal. You're kind of sitting there, this awkward background noise.
Thomas, we'd like to take these with us to examine them and listen to them at length, if that would be okay with you.
Sure, go for it.
Who else would have access to your apartment besides yourself?
I mean, no one should. I mean, I don't lock the door when I go paint. So, I mean, I guess one of the other residents can. Maybe Van Fitz. She's the fucking worst.
Do you think she's technologically aware enough to be able to run a microphone line like this?
I don't fucking know. I don't want to talk with her. She's really... She doesn't
What was
like
her-
a lot of people.
What was her name again?
Oh, Van Fitz.
Van Fitz. All right.
Yeah, she's... he kind of gestures upwards. Yeah, she's upstairs, second floor.
Okay, we'll take
Yeah.
a look. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You said you paint.
Yeah, I do.
What sort of things do you paint?
Oh, I mean, I do a lot of like landscapes and whatnot. Lately I've been really getting into interiors, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he starts to kind of talk about what kind of painting he does, and he's really getting like, I mean, I have like I said, the night manager lets me use the basement, so I have a pretty nice setup down there. And
do you
I've
mind
got,
if I take a look? Would you show us around that night?
uh,
Oh, we won't touch anything.
I mean, and he's kind of doing like that. I mean, I guess, but you really gotta just don't touch
We
anything,
won't.
please.
Okay,
I won't touch
that's
anything.
reasonable.
Yeah.
What's
But
the
yeah.
night manager's name, by the way?
Mr. Castaigne.
Mr. Chastain?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, since yeah, you have no use for these tapes, I guess these papers they're not yours either.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Well, if it's okay with you, I would like to take them.
Yeah, sure, go for it. As well as, don't forget as well, there is a small locket, little bronze locket in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Shall we see the
I'll take that
basement
as
in
well,
your
yeah.
your gallery, your workspace?
Sure, yeah. Do you wanted to go now?
If you said you were headed there, we don't want to hold you up from doing that, so we can do both things at one time.
Okay, sure. Yeah, absolutely. And that's you exiting the door. We'll kind of time that up with Giridonda leaving, so you can kind of catch the back end of him as he goes out the door. You can see he has left the apartment open that Updraft and Unicorn are in.
A wave.
Ouch.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, just down this way. We have to go outside to get downstairs.
Okay, excellent. So, Thomas, before we leave here, make sure you start locking your door for me. I'm concerned that someone's been using your apartment when you're away. just for your
Okay.
own safety.
Yeah.
How come you don't have any of your art in your apartment?
I don't know. I got rid of it. Didn't really seem important.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a secret. I haven't really sold anything lately.
Well, everybody has their ups and downs, but
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm feeling really good about my new stuff. Like
Excellent.
yeah. I think this is going to be the the turnaround, that's what artists always hope for. But
Mhm.
yeah, we got to go outside. I'll get my keys real quick, and he digs around at a kitchen drawer for a bit and pulls out his keys and goes and locks the door on his way out.
Good call.
Yeah, thanks. As they're walking down to the basement, we'll cut back to Updraft and Unicorn.
So Updraft is remembering the sign that we're looking for this thing that Agent Marcus told us about. And so he's going to look around looking for that because it was important enough that Marcus noticed that so there's some sort of occult signal or sigil, and that's in Updraft's wheelhouse.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and do a search roll because this is a bit of a doozy of a room. If you can imagine, just everything everywhere. It's
Yep.
epoxied to the wall.
Hold on. Here we go. Oh, nope.
No dice. You are looking, you're not seeing what he's talking about. There's stuff all over. This thing is a mess.
He's going to call over to Unicorn, but he's going to use the FBI name. Hey, Sam, you see this, you seeing this character? This thing they talked about in the report?
I'll give another look. See what I can see. What's the lighting in here? Is it pretty well lit? Is it like
No,
artist
not really
lit?
at all. In fact, like the last bits of sunlight are starting to fade outside, and you're gonna have to turn on like a dim light bulb that's above this room, and that's really about it.
Are there any light rigs or lights in the boxes that we could set up to give us better lighting?
There aren't.
Okay. Well, I'll find the light switch, and I'm sure we all have flashlights and whatnot like that we would need.
Yeah, and it kind of does that like old building, like dim and then slowly lights up, giving you a better look. This room is casting shadows all over the place. It is wild to look at.
And we haven't been in an... Is this just like a one-room, what do you call it, studio apartment?
Studio.
It is 2 rooms. The kitchen and bathtub kind of share one. I guess there is a small... let me see if I can just take a screenshot so it'll let me just send you just a little bit of the map so you can kind of see where you're at.
I see what you're saying. It's got like a living space and then the cooking, cleaning space.
Yeah, go ahead and pop that open. Unrelated. Oh, wait, what? Oh, no. I've complained about this for ages, and I realized they fixed it. The book map has the wire that you guys found on the map.
Okay.
Not great, but the handout doesn't. So, hey, there you go. I could have shared this the whole time.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
can't open
but,
it full size, but because
yeah,
internet. Okay, I see how it's
So
laid
you
out,
can
yeah.
kind of see it's got 2 main rooms, a bathroom, and then a kind of side room. But the door to that is nowhere to be found. The art just kind of wraps around it almost.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and make my
Yeah.
search roll, I guess. Which is... Where did that go? That is what I'm using, right? Search.
Yes. Search
Yes.
roll.
There it is. All right. Oh, yeah. 5460. That'll work. That'll get it.
All right. So you find, as you're looking through here, you find a seal, and I will pop that into the Discord as well. There is a bit of brown linen parchment inscribed with this golden ink symbol It's stuck to the wall. It doesn't look to be as tightly tied on, like it's epoxied on top of other stuff. So you're thinking you might be able to get a hold of it if you want to.
Let's take a picture of it.
Yeah, we need to catalog this for sure. This is interesting. And I'll look around like
Yeah.
and whisper
Ed.
over. Ed, right. I gotta write things down or I forget them. Hey Ed, this is interesting. I see a lot of stuff in here that's got some historical context. I don't know what it all means though.
Person.
Yeah, so actually, Agent Updraft, you recognize this
Yeah.
as you're looking at it. At one point in your past, you've dealt with demonologists, probably from a distance away with a trigger in between you. But you recognize this as a symbol involved in demonology. It is for Person. You can kind of see it rings the seal if you look there. A demon detailed in a book you recall, the Ars Getia. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. But you would know that that is a great king of hell.
Okay. I will share this bit of information. I recognize this, Sam. This is Person. He's a Ars Gosha king of hell. He's got some followers out there, I guess. This might be one. I want to try to, once we've photographed it, I want to go ahead and try to remove it from the wall.
Okay, yeah, you...
Are the walls, real quick, are the walls like plaster, drywall, wood board?
It's kind of tough to tell underneath all the epoxy, like...
Okay, so it's like the epoxy's coated on and then the stuff is stuck in it. Okay.
Right.
I didn't know if it was like just a roller dab and then, or the whole wall. So now I know.
It's pretty much the whole wall is layers deep in this stuff. As soon as Agent Updraft's hand touches the seal, both of you jump as there is this loud from outside as a taxi just lays on its horn and kind of causes both of you to jump. And you can the windows are still like openable, but this horn is just being held down.
Go look out the window, see what that is.
Yeah, and what you see is this cab driver just leaning on his horn, and in front of him is this unkempt, like long beard, probably a homeless guy. He's got like fatigues on and stuff, and he's just kind of slowly walking in front of the cab. But what really sets him apart is the giant snake that is draped across his back and shoulder as he is just kind of stumbling across the street.
Okay.
Hey, well,
New York in 95.
that's
Not too out of the ordinary, but
that's still pretty weird, Ed.
Yep. And I put a link down in the resources there for Agent Updraft in particular. That site may come in useful.
Let it load.
Kind of doing a quick read through of that.
So,
Do we know anything about each other's backgrounds, or this is our first introduction?
We'll say this is your first time together.
Okay, good.
so
okay.
would there have been any chance at all in my anthropological studies and travels of the world that I could have possibly run across this as well, or something similar?
You have, I think, base occult.
I have base occult, yeah.
Let me
I'm
take a
pretty good at
gander at your
anthropology.
sheet real quick just to see where you've got your stuff. Oh, you've got a history. Yeah, go ahead and roll a history.
Okay. Not quite. 57.
Not quite.
So
You think you remember hearing about a book of this because Agent Updraft kind of mentioned it, and the Ars Goetia, or however you say it, it rings a bell. If you think like, oh yeah, if we looked that up, we'd probably be able to go and find something more about this, but nothing's ringing a bell with you at the moment.
okay.
It's Goetia.
Goetia, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so seeing this guy and hearing the horn, Ed's going to point out it, point him out and just, let's go see what's up with this. The person carries a viper. That's a snake of some sort out there. Is it like a constrictor type snake, or can I tell?
It does. I think we'll
I
go.
figured it'd
It
be
does look.
big.
Yeah. It's one of those like
Yeah.
carry it over both shoulders and there's tail to spare. It's not on the ground. He's keeping it moving, but
Yeah.
you can't miss it. Like you'd miss a garden snake. This guy has a snake.
Like a ball python or something.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
Big.
big one.
All right, so yeah, Updraft's gonna. I'm gonna go talk to this guy, see what's going on, and he's just gonna go ahead and head out the door, and head out front.
And Unicorn, are you following? Staying put?
I think I'm gonna stay put, but watch from the window.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of keep the window open, watch and listen, give him some backup from inside.
All right, so Updraft walking out to the road, you can see off to the side, Ursine and Undine are following behind Thomas, who's kind of fiddling with the basement door. He's going, sorry, it kind of sticks a little bit. But looking into the road, you don't see anyone there. Go ahead and roll your sanity there.
81. Man, I can't catch a break.
Oh my goodness. Take 1 away from unnatural, so you don't have to take anything for it.
Okay.
As yeah, you realize this guy's he's not there.
Do I?
Take one away from sanity, you mean?
Yes, take 1 away from sanity. Starting out strong.
All right.
Meat grinder, folks. Meat grinder.
So what do I need to roll that as well? Watching him outside, does this?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
I
not
mean,
yet.
from your vantage, he kind of maybe turned a corner, but
Okay.
for Updraft, he's completely like
Gone.
Bamoose good. Yep.
Does the taxi just takes off?
Yeah.
Normal
Taxi
speed.
just takes off. He's going down the street already.
All right. That's Updraft just okay. He sees the two of them, and he's gonna watch. He's gonna turn around and start walking back slow, but watch to see if they go in. And once that door opens, he's gonna go back inside and go back into the apartment.
Yeah, and as the sun's kind of setting over the buildings, you're headed in. Thomas turns to the two of you that are out on the street and goes, yep, here we go. Right this way. And he starts to lead you along the basement. It has a number of old... this has kind of got that like concrete, very sparse look. Looks like this might have been a basement of a building at some point that got turned over, so it's not as nice as the upstairs. But you can see there are a number of small rooms off to the side, and he walks over and goes, yep, right over here is mine, right here, and he kind of fiddles with the lock and opens the door to his workspace. Opening it, you can see there are a number of paintings that are in progress. It smells heavily of oils and paint thinner. And you can see stacked in the middle of the room are 3 plastic pails of linseed oil with a little note kind of taped to it.
What's the note say?
The note says, for Sammy pickup.
Oh, this is actually quite nice. You've got a fair amount of space down here.
Yeah, yeah. I quite like it, actually. It gives me a chance to work on these. And it's, kind of quiet. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Could really, really just kind of listen, take in the world down here.
Mm-hmm. So this piece that you're working on, what's it about?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of over here. And if you want to look at some of these, you can, I'm kind of keeping them on the periphery, but there are some paintings you could look at potentially around here, just off to the side. But he brings you over. Yes, this one, I've been calling it my great work, not to, I know I'm selling it kind of big, but, yeah, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to really take the world by storm, if I'm being honest. And he leads you over to a completely blank canvas.
Oh, this is excellent. It's an understatement. What
Thanks.
made you choose this particular subject?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of, it's kind of at the back of my mind all the time.
Gotcha. And the color choices?
I mean, it's kind of, I know it's a little abstract, but it just feels right,
Yeah, I think I see where you're going with it.
Okay. I see your expression. I've dealt with non-artistic people before, and I'm sorry, you don't really strike me as the artist type.
I look at art through a veil of history. You have to understand.
Yeah, right.
Woodcuts are more my thing, but
Right. But what I'm saying is really give it time. Really kind of, it just takes longer. You can't just look at a piece of art and it speaks to you, right? You got to really
Gotcha.
embrace it for a while. But
Oops.
this is really art for artists. You understand? Like,
Yeah, totally.
like Abby and I, the others here, we really kind of get it.
And how long have you been working on this particular piece?
Oh boy, man, time, huh? Time flies. Few months? Yeah, a few
Okay.
months, I think.
I'm going to be careful not to bump these buckets. Is where you clean your brushes?
Yeah, definitely be careful.
Does he have any brushes sitting around?
Oh yeah, he's got a few brushes here and there. They're all free of paint. He's got all of his paint cans closed. Same with the paint thinner and the linseed oil and whatnot.
Okay, Thomas. Well, I really appreciate your assisting us with all of this. Like I said, do try to keep your door locked. And if you don't mind, could you give me your number here? And I would kindly ask that
Sure.
maybe
Yeah.
for the next week you don't leave town just in case we have any follow-up questions. You don't have any trips planned, do you?
No, I don't think so.
And here's my number. This is a way to contact me. If anything weird happens or you can think of anything you want to talk about, especially if you see anyone weird hanging around your apartment,
Mhm.
definitely give me a call. We're not that far away. I have a feeling that somebody's been taking advantage of you, and I would like to make sure that doesn't happen. You've been very helpful.
Thanks. I kind of appreciate that. You need me to? Do you need anything else from me?
Oh no, I look down at Erstein.
So this painting is clearly just a blank canvas, right? So he's okay. Could you explain your process or your technique here to me?
Oh, yeah. I think actually, if you don't mind, art works best is kind of like a history, as you know, so you can kind of see my progress throughout these paintings here. And he points at one, and it has it's this strange dancing clown painted in yellow and blue, and it's dancing around, you think, a park, and it's got this paper dragon that's being dragged behind it. It's like, yeah, this is one of the first ones that I did. Yeah, you can kind of see my experimental use of brush strokes there. If we go over to here, this is one I'm calling a fire in the house. And he gets to the next one, and what you see is it's a painting that is someone looking upstairs. And at the top of these stairs, there's this strange white masked figure standing in the fire of this like blue building that is just completely aflame. I was really trying to go for action here. You see, like you can see the flames and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then this one's called the Twins. And what you see is there is a you can see this individual here, the one with the kind of the wispy thin the hair. Look at how I had to use such a fine brush for his hair. He's really losing it. And he's wearing a hospital gown and looking into a mirror. And in the mirror, you see it's not his face pointing back. It's this muscular, misshapen individual with it almost looks like his ears are connected to a wire, like they're fake ears somehow, just looking back out of the picture. But yes, that's the Twins. That's the bit of a request job, if I'm being honest. But
Oh, who requested that, if you don't mind my asking?
oh, sure. Mr. Wild.
Mr. Wild.
Yeah.
All right.
And then obviously this last one, the great work. That one I've been, man, it's a tough one. I'm really working on it every night, it seems like, and I'm gonna get there. It just kind of loses something, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah, it does seem to be missing something.
Yeah.
But that's what you do. You have to fathom that stuff out.
Right. You
And-
just remove everything that's not an elephant, right?
Exactly. We'll leave you to it. Thank you
Okay.
very much for your time. And again, if you have any concerns whatsoever, just give us a call, and I may call you with some further questions. But
Sure.
I do appreciate your assistance.
Yeah, I'm always here.
Thank you
Oh.
so much.
Turn and walk out.
And you see he starts kind of popping over paint cans and getting ready for the night.
Walk down the hall. Ursine, you found other materials besides tapes?
I did. I found these couple of papers and this bronze locket.
Have you looked them
Um,
over?
Not yet. I think now's the time. Perhaps we meet the others back in
Sure, yeah.
Abigail's apartment. We can shut the door and maybe have a private place to look over this stuff.
Good idea.
Okay. The two of you head out. The sun has kind of fallen behind the buildings at this point. And yes, everyone kind of meets back up in Abigail's apartment. You can see for the first time Urside and Undine just the wholly epoxied mishmash of things on the wall. Do we want to take a break?
That would be great.
Sure. Yeah, break would be good.
Okay.
How long do you want to take?
I'm good. I'm fine with
10,
5 if everybody is. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I
5
think I
minutes.
can get it done in 5. All right.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right.
We'll be right back. Transition.
All right. Well, I think we will pick up where we left off with the four congregating into this. It's art, kind of. It's like art threw up on the wall, you know, and then got epoxied. So there's just so much stuff there.
And is the epoxy like hard, or is it
Yeah.
still okay?
Yeah.
So it's been fixed. It's been there for a
Yeah.
while.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna have a fun time
So
with this one.
this could be like her fucking art installation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ed says that out loud. He's like, I mean, fucking college kids, right? Like this is art now. It's not just, pictures of horses and boats.
Art is subjective to the eye of the creator. So yeah, this could definitely be her art. But
This place is a disaster.
It's,
We're-
it's
Seen
fine.
anything useful in here yet?
the boxes, they got stuff in them we can use.
This and oh, was I able to pull that thing
Yeah.
off the wall?
Yeah, you were able to
Okay.
pull it off the wall.
So I'll hold that up and be like, how familiar are you with demonology?
Quite a bit,
Not
actually.
at all.
Did you say not at all?
I have a little bit of occult, but not from demons.
Yeah. So if Undyne says that, yeah, I'm going to hold it out and be like, but this was just stuck to it. It's not stuck in it like everything else. So it was added after this was created.
I flip inside the front cover to see if I can determine when this was printed. Is it Bible print style?
Oh, this is just on a
this
sheet.
is
It's
the
a
seal.
single.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a seal.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a Solomonic talisman.
Yep. You got it in one. So probably the amount of knowledge you know is about what Don probably knows. And you and Updraft are a little bit about the same level. So yes, you would recognize this pretty much immediately as being the demon seal of Person.
King Solomon factors into several different religions and cultures, so it's very likely he was indeed a real person. And apparently he was a binder of spirits and demons, according to the lore. And
Oh heavens.
this looks like the seal of a unhappy bad dude.
Person, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Lion face, snakes.
Yeah, okay. That rings a bell. The lion face, at least.
Oh, is that what that's supposed to
Crown.
be? A lion with a pitchfork thing?
I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't really work like that. Those are geometric lines.
yeah.
Sort of like
Ah.
you're familiar with the idea behind a pentagram or a pentacle.
Oh yeah.
It's a circle and a seal, sometimes used to be drawn on the floor to bind a spirit, or as a talisman to ward them away.
Yeah, I know how that kind of stuff works. You said lion, and I kind of looked like a lion.
You know how, like Egyptian gods, right? Egyptian gods, bird heads,
Yeah.
jackal heads,
Yes.
lion head,
Gotcha.
person. All right.
Lion person.
I found this stuff in the gentleman across the way's apartment, which, and I look at Undyne, I'm not certain that he actually lives there. I don't have a feeling that he really is clued into reality at all, but we found this stuff there. He has some high-tech stereo equipment and has been making somebody, not him clearly, has been making recordings.
Of course not.
And here are the 3 tapes.
What
So
was
he-
it? Go ahead.
He
Sorry.
sat there and listened to one of them with us. I'm certain it was not him. But it also had these papers and this bronze locket. And he didn't, he's like, oh yeah, that's not mine. You can take it. So I think this is important because whoever was surveilling this apartment was in that gentleman's apartment and storing evidence there. So, and I'll hold out the tapes to Undyne, I'll give the locket to Updraft, and then I'm going to take one of the papers and hand one to Gran.
So
I'll
what do we
take
got?
it.
Yeah, and looking at the papers, since we kind of talked before break about those, they're not numbered, so they're kind of loose. You're kind of flipping through them. There doesn't seem to be a sort of order to them. But for those on the stream, would you mind reading the one that you kind of pull out of the play?
Are those in handouts?
They are in handouts if you're able to see them.
I can read this first one.
Okay.
Scene, the smoking lounge, a large parlor on the 4th floor. In the room are the dog, Thomas, and Michelle. Enter Mark Rourke. Mark, Abigail is gone. She moved upstairs today. Thomas. And? Mark, I miss the kid. Michelle, her dad, that pig, came around. He doesn't like you, Mark. No one likes you. Anyway, she ran off with that salesman and everyone knows it. Mark, fuck you, you cunt. Thomas, come on guys, come on. The dog barks. Someone is heard coming up the steps, a loud racket reverberating up and down the staircase. Mark, who is that? Everyone stops to listen. Michelle, who could be down there? Who is that? Mark walks to the doorway and leans to look down the stairs. Mark, hello? Hello? Enter federal agents.
The hell?
It reads like it's notes from a recording.
Written as a play, and Abigail is in it?
Yeah.
And who is Mark? And who is Abigail's father? Do we have that information?
We do. His name is Tom.
What's
Thomas.
his right?
Thomas, but Tom, yeah.
He was the one that reported her missing.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about Thomas?
No, you were not given any information other than
Wealthy.
yeah, he's pretty wealthy. You would have known he was a police officer. They would have mentioned that he was a police officer out of Nassau County.
Gotcha. So pig is literal.
Yeah,
There's-
right.
Okay. Okay.
So this does have bearing on reality. Okay. So what's in the locket?
Yeah, I'll open up
Yeah.
the locket. Look at that.
Yeah, the locket itself. Just a second as I flip through the pages. This is kind of all over the place. It's a little song. You pop it open. As you're kind of looking at it, you realize this is a very nicely made locket. It has withstood any kind of weathering beautifully. It's got that kind of like bronze look to it. And it's one of those lockets that you pop open and it unfolds and you can see a couple pictures on each side. One has been scraped away, like there's a little bit of paper, a little bit of glue there. The other is showing this beautiful woman with long brown hair. And you're kind of getting the feeling like this is kind of an old-timey pictures, like maybe 1900s or so-ish. But the just looking at the interior, you're kind of amazed at the swirls that are in the metal. Like the craftsman for this must have been exceptional.
So the other picture's been scraped away. Like,
Right.
Does the paper that's still there, does it feel fresh or does it feel like it's dried and...
Yeah, it's dried.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
you
it's
kinda-
scraped
yeah,
away
you can
long
kind of
ago.
you can kind of get your fingers on it pretty easily.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what we have so far, let me get my notebook. He flips out a little flip pad. All right, so the neighbor across the hall, his name is Thomas Manuel. He's a friend of Abby's, or a self-claimed friend. I don't see him. Let's see. Is he in this? Yeah, he's definitely in the play. Okay, so they're friends. He seems completely and honestly, I'm convinced, unaware of the microphone, as mentioned. His apartment doesn't appear lived in, but he's been living there for years. I asked him for some coffee. He handed me milk that was extremely expired, but was fresh. The milk carton had gone quite some time ago, but somehow the milk was fine. It threw me for a loop. Was not aware of any of the things in his apartment. Didn't really have much of a taste for hanging art in his own space.
Put it nicely. It looked like he was living in a hotel room.
Like he was an extra in a movie, just placed there.
Could he be one of these minimalist artist types that just, doesn't have a lot of stuff? I mean,
Well, let's get into his art next. We
Oh.
followed him to his basement work area, and he had several pieces of art there. I'll go over each piece. I'll mention. We'll start with I'll go in backwards order. His latest work he spent months on is a blank canvas, literally not a scrap of paint on it. And we asked him about it, and he seemed to speak about it as if there was something there, but obviously there was not. He had very, very strange subjects like a masked figure at top of stairs in a blue building, someone in a hospital looking in a mirror and seeing something that wasn't quite right as the reflection. He mentioned a Mr. Wilde as well, had requested that one. I'm obviously forgetting something here. There's a Fire in the House. I think that's what he titled the one with the strange white masked person. And then there was a clown with a paper dragon in a park. The whole place just didn't seem like an artist's workspace to me for some reason.
That
Yeah, I like what you said about it seemed like somebody put an extra. It really had that feel. They put somebody who had no idea what's been going on, but who also doesn't seem to be lying in this place as almost like a cover. It's very, very strange. Like, he almost doesn't seem like a real person, if that makes sense.
are we
But,
sure we're the only federal agency working on this case? Like, you know what I mean? Because
You would be the only ones.
that we're aware of, right? I mean,
Correct, yeah.
and I'm kind of asking that to everybody else is just kind of if that's the case, if he just seems too unreal, like that's kind of my, to follow up what
Gotcha.
Agent
Oh,
Ursine
yeah,
said, like,
right,
if he's a plant, like somebody else could be watching this place for us.
Well, he's not a plant in the sense that like we would be plants. He's a plant in the sense that he's almost like he's a human, but he's blank. He has very little personality. He doesn't have anything in his apartment. He's been working on a blank painting for months, he said.
She's being kind. This person is an upright pod person.
You think a pod
Said
person?
it, not me.
he
I say that jokingly, but I guess now that you say that,
I mean, that's one way to put it.
Updraft, you were saying something? We cut you off.
I was gonna say that painting of the clown,
Yeah,
that
little short clown.
blue and yellow, short child-like clown, paper dragon in the air.
How do you know that?
Park looked a lot like Washington Square Park.
Where we
I
just
have no-
were.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
that
I
you
saw
mention
that.
it,
I saw that clown today.
What?
what did our handler say about missing time?
Are you missing time?
No, he spoke to you.
Yeah, he asked if I was missing time. That's what he said. Are you missing time?
How does milk go forward into the future without spoiling?
Maybe he reuses the container, washes it out, and does powdered milk.
No, it was actually normal milk. I can tell you that much. It wasn't bad tasting at all. And
Maybe he froze it.
not this guy.
Like, that's not normal.
There's
What's on
something
normal?
at work here. I don't understand what it is.
Yeah. Well, he could have just frozen it. You buy it on sale, you freeze it, you pull it back out later.
It kind
No.
of tastes watery after you do that.
No, there's something else going on there. He was not quite right, for sure. Pod person's a good way to put it.
I mean, he
Um,
lives here. Artist
you
types.
got a point, artist types and whatnot, but most of them are a little more lucid and with it than that guy was. I don't know. I think
Maybe he's just out of it from today's earlier events.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if maybe he'd been on drugs, but it didn't really come across that way either.
And Updraft, you've never been here before and never talked to any of these people?
No. No.
Then it is
These are-
impossible that you knew the contents of that painting.
I mean, you described a small clown with a paper dragon, and I mean that
You got the
you
colors.
see a lot of weird stuff, you know, living in this city and living in cities, and you know, like something like that. Even that stands out against the backdrop of all the other weird. Yeah, no, I mean, it was clear as day, like right there in Washington Square Park, blue and yellow clown. They're over there dancing with their dragon, other stuff going on, you know.
Well, speaking of weird stuff, Updraft, what happened with the guy that you went to talk to outside? The guy with the snake.
I didn't talk to him. He wasn't there.
But he was there.
Taxi just, well, he wasn't because the taxi just took off. I don't
Did
know what
y'all
happened
see
to him.
anybody outside with the snake?
We weren't really paying attention to anyone but Thomas.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't,
But we both saw him, right? I mean, I'm not going crazy. I'm old, but I ain't crazy.
I mean, I told you I was going outside to talk to him. I don't know.
So, clowns in the park, disappearing guy with a snake, sigil on the wall from lion person,
I think
crazy
that
guy next door.
the gentleman across the way, he said that there was another woman who was about, and that she was, well, he had very low opinion of her, Van Fitz. And I believe it might be worth checking into her as well and asking her what's been going on. He seemed to think that she might be involved in some way.
Second floor.
Yes, the second floor.
And I will break in just to offer a clarification. The page that Agent Ursine read aloud, that is one of the pages. If you kind of take a moment to look through yours, they are not duplicates. You find a number of other people mentioned as well that are probably important to know. You see a Michelle Van Fitz is mentioned.
Michelle.
You see a Roger Caroon is mentioned. You've already run across Thomas Manuel. And you see a Lewis Post. So those are kind of the names that are mentioned along with the Mark Rourke, which you had already seen. But you see a few others that don't have like their full names. You see the Super, both of those capitalized.
Building superintendent.
Mhm.
You see a Mr. Castaigne.
That name is familiar. Oh, he's the night manager.
Mhm.
And you see one, you saw the dog, obviously, and then you see the final one is labeled the encyclopedia salesman.
Totally forgot that was a thing in the 90s.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Well, that's the weirdest thing out of all of it. Of course it's this encyclopedia salesman. It's got to be. Those guys are always sketchy.
True. So we need to get a hold of Michelle Van Fitz and also the night manager, and then we'll try to get the super, and we'll just maybe they'll be able to tell us about these other individuals, these other players in this play.
So as we look through the other pages, I know you said they don't seem to be in any order, but can we determine like maybe a timeline? Are there common people in each play? Does it center
Yes.
on
Yeah,
one
there are.
person, for instance?
Not particularly. You see, they're kind of just spread out. It's very much kind of like that one is, where it's just like a moment in time for
Mhm.
these individuals.
Does the same person kind of show up in each one though, or a couple of people have a commonality?
If it was, it would be like a television show that bounces between characters, right?
Gotcha.
There's not one person that's in all of them.
Okay.
Friends. It's
Yeah,
1995.
Yeah, it's like
it's
Friends.
Friends.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Friends. Because I'm only seeing the one handout, so I'm guessing that's the only one you have.
Correct.
Okay.
Is there a bookshelf or a stack of books or a clump of books anywhere?
Not in her apartment. There is no furniture to be found. You do see there's a couple books like tacked to the wall.
Are any of them the Lesser Key of Solomon?
No. You do find a kind of interestingly, you find a paper in there. I'm just going to make sure it's right. There is a college economics report in Farsi, which I believe you
Yeah,
can speak.
I actually can.
So that's in the book. I was like, no one's gonna catch that. But yeah, you see this book written in Farsi, and you're like, why is there a college economics paper tacked in here? You can see it's really like you can see the cover page, and then the rest is behind this epoxy. It would be nearly impossible to get out.
They don't teach Farsi, and I'm saying this out loud, in college.
What's the
Not
nationality?
economics.
What
Farsi.
was Abigail's
Persian.
Persian.
Yeah, I think I
what
would know
was-
that.
What is Abigail's nationality? Did anybody catch that?
She looks pretty white in that photograph we got.
Last name is Wright, so the father is a, probably white Anglo-Saxon Protestant police officer.
That would be my guess as well. Yeah.
Are you saying that you think she might be Irish?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of the vibes I got too.
Huh. I want to go, I want to, kind of while they're talking about all this, I want to wander into the kitchen. Look at the refrigerator, see what kind of food is in there, if it's fresh, if it's...
Let me double check.
If I gag when I open the door.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I say there is no furniture, I don't believe there even is a refrigerator
Appliances.
anymore, right?
Okay, I just
Yes.
saw one on the drawing, so...
Yeah, that would be like the layout kind of thing. The
Right.
bathtub as well that's on the layout would be gone. Yeah,
Okay, so the
she's
bathtub's gone.
really stripped it bare.
Okay. But not even a stove,
Yeah, you can see the connectors buried.
but all the
You know,
appliances
deep
are
in
gone
epoxy.
too. Okay.
Right.
So that's what I was kind of just wanted to check around. Toilet there, or is it gone as well?
The toilet actually has survived. The bathroom looks to be still usable.
Usable. Okay.
Yeah.
But the rest of the apartment is all covered in the epoxy and art.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we at first had only been in that one room, so
Right. Yeah, you just kind of wandered in the first, and Giradonda had surprised you before you got a good look.
yeah.
As Unicorn wanders in the bathroom, I'll yell out, "Check the tank!"
Why? But okay, I'll check
People
the
hide
tank.
things in there all the time.
That's, that's pretty clever. And sure, I'll check the tank and roll a search. Or
No,
Or just-
but unfortunately you open the tank and there's water. It does look like this is a usable bathroom.
nothing extra in there though.
Nothing of that stands out to you. No.
Okay.
Let's see, I assume it's not a drop ceiling. It's actually like an old solid.
Yep. In fact,
Okay.
it's got kind of that
Oh,
tin
you
like
know what?
markings on the top of it. It's pretty neat.
But I
If it
can,
wasn't garbage.
if the bathroom walls aren't coated in epoxy, I would like to see what they're covered in. If it's drywall, is the building old enough to be plaster walls?
Yeah, I don't have an exact answer, so I will say
How old did you say
because
it was? Like
you're
40 years old?
well, yeah, that's what you're discovering is you look at this, you kind of peel at it a little bit as you go, oh, this is maybe like 1920s. Like
So it
this
would
is
be-
probably constructed around then, maybe wooden. I would assume with that.
Plaster on lath.
Plaster.
Plaster on
Plaster
lath.
slats, yeah.
Yeah, and you could see probably at that point some of the plasters coming off a little bit, but yeah, that's what you would find in there.
Okay. I'm just future thinking if we have to start cutting the walls out, what kind of tools are we gonna need?
Yeah, I mean, about the time this place was built, there wasn't a whole lot of really, widespread entertainment, but occultism was very popular with the wealthy.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see that here in the architecture a little bit.
Yes, that does have that influence. I think you might be onto something. I'd like to know more about who built this place.
Exactly. The superintendent probably has blueprints and some of that information.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I believe that we definitely need to speak with the superintendent.
So what would be our next course of action?
Yes, great
Uh,
question. And
well-
it's about 7 or 8, like with all the kind of running around and reading through these things that you've done.
I would like to inventory all the stuff we have in the boxes, equipment-wise. If we have any shortfalls, since Agent Giordano or Detective Giordano wouldn't be helpful and act as our tripod for us, if there ain't one in the box, then I'd like to go out and get a tripod. I could start cataloging all this. It's kind of what I do. I've been doing it for years. I find stuff, details. It's kind of my thing. I can start on that if y'all want.
That'd be excellent. I'm more of a history person myself.
I would like to speak with some of the people around here, some of the other building residents, but the superintendent, for certain, I'm definitely interested in more about this building in general.
So we start there. He's likely to be on site.
Mhm,
We could also go after Michelle. She's probably home this time of night.
mhm.
And she could tell us where to find the superintendent.
Perhaps.
She's nosy by the sounds of it.
That was the impression. What do you gentlemen think?
Yeah, it's just a floor up. Let's try her.
Okay, let's do that.
And
Gran,
if
you be good?
Yeah.
Gran, you gonna be all right?
I should be okay. I'll yell real loud if anything crazy happens.
All right.
Y'all want to take some cookies up there?
It might be a good way in the door, but I think we'd have to work on our presentation. So I think we'll take our chances.
Oh, we have the keys, the locks. Sorry, we have the key to the door. So we'll lock the door behind us and take the key with us.
I'll be here.
That's the plan.
backing away.
Hope
All
I'm still
right.
here when you get back.
That's what we're hoping for. Fingers crossed.
Delta
Yes.
Green, you leave somebody alone, they might get abducted by aliens.
Or worse.
Yeah. So Agent Unicorn, who's your new character? No. So
Let's split up.
yeah, the three of you are heading out into the hallway. You see, kind of as a reminder, the stairwell kind of it butts up against the entrance to Thomas's apartment, and you do see there is another apartment down the way. You have the map, so you know who's in it, but there is that. But you are able to go upstairs, and when you do that, I'm going to take a real quick screenshot and give you an image of the second floor. It is much the same as the first, as you have that kind of rich burgundy carpeting that has seen a lot of wear and tear. You think as you get up the stairs that to the right has seen a little bit more maybe. The left seems a little dusty. So you're kind of thinking, oh, they're probably off to that side. And you can see pretty readily that there is a door right next to the stairwell.
That would, if I was a nosy busybody, that would be the apartment I would want.
Seems reasonable.
All right.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's get started.
I'll knock. Put on a
Great.
big smile.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a luck. So that's 50 and under.
Wow.
Yeah, all right. Agent Undine, you start knocking on that door.
You burst into flames.
Yeah.
I trip, fall, and bang the head into the door.
Spontaneous
Ouch.
combustion.
Man, way to turn it up to 11.
Somebody put a white mask on that guy. This building is blue, isn't it? Yeah.
It was me all along.
You knock a couple times and you wait and no one answers the door.
I might not open the door for me either. Okay. Well, next.
The super is usually on the ground floor or in the basement. Usually that back half of that ground floor. You know, the unwanted apartment.
Yeah.
Perhaps that was Roger. On the map, that's Roger Marie.
Technically, you don't know that, but yeah, that's Roger's apartment.
Okay.
This map is metagaming.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Cheater!
In theory, maybe you guys got this, but I like
My
you finding it
immersion!
out. Yeah. So broken. So broken.
Oh, am I ever going to
Totally.
finish this game now?
Ruined it for everybody.
Spoilers.
No, I mean, Updraft, you're right. Perhaps that is where the super is at. Do we want to split up and some of us go speak with him, or
Hold on. Y'all said that Thomas said something about the night manager.
Yep. Castaigne.
Yeah. So
He's got to be at the
super-
desk.
Yeah, I mean he's the night manager. He's got to be around here.
Mhm.
So Updraft's going to look over, and there's another door down the hall a little ways. And so he's just going to walk over to that door and just cop knock on it.
Okay.
Just
Knock, knock, knock.
do, do, do.
Yeah. Are you going kind of down the, if we're looking at the map, the left-hand side? Yeah.
No. Just further down the same hall. You came
Oh,
up the
okay.
stairwell, you
Yep.
took that right. We did that first door. And then further down that hall, the next door. Same side.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. You rap, and you hear the sound of someone like banging their head on something. And yeah, there's like a clunk, ow, and then this scraping noise that you kind of hear, and then footsteps approach the door. And this kind of young, again, you'd guess maybe college age student, cracks open the door. One moment. And he's kind of a little mousy looking, just from he's kind of got a little bit of hunch to him. Probably gonna have back problems later in life. He has a pencil in his hands, like a drawing pencil. Hi, can I help you?
Hi, yes. My name's Agent Hammonds. We're here looking for Ms. Abigail Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Just wondering if you'd heard anything around here.
I mean, I heard she moved in with that guy upstairs.
Which guy?
I don't. I mean, Michelle has talked about him. The encyclopedia salesman, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where upstairs is he?
Oh, I don't know that. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I don't know her that well. I mean, obviously, I can see her go out on the street and stuff, but I don't. You know.
Okay. What was your name again, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Lewis.
Lewis.
Lewis Post. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lewis Post. So, what are you doing tonight, Lewis?
Oh, I mean, I'm just doing some drawing.
Oh, okay. What are you drawing?
Oh, yeah, I'm a freelance cartoonist, comics person.
Oh, okay. Okay. Anything I might know?
I don't know. Do you know? No, I'll be honest. It's probably nothing you know.
Okay. Well, I hope to see your work someday, Lewis. You
Yeah, me
haven't
too.
heard anything. You haven't heard anything about Abigail and what's going on in her apartment?
No, not really. I mean, they had that party and stuff, but I don't really
When was
get
that?
out to that. That was a while back, a few months, I think, maybe.
Was that the last time that you? When was the last time you saw her?
Um, and he's kind of trying really hard to think. I really couldn't say. I'm sorry.
Okay. Are you a student here at NYU or
No, I'm a freelancer.
just a freelancer? Just
Mhm.
okay. All right,
Yeah,
Lewis.
if you need to hire me for anything, you can talk to Mike. Mike Severs. He's my agent.
Does he represent anyone else in the building?
No, no. No, I'm afraid not. It's just me. You might be thinking of Art Life. They're the ones that own the building.
Oh, okay. Art Life owns the building, and Mike
Yeah.
Severs is your agent.
Correct. He does comic stuff.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Lewis. Oh, do you know where the super is or the night manager? We were looking for them. That's who I thought might live here.
Don't know what you're talking about.
The night manager of the building, the superintendent.
No.
Who's doing the maintenance around here?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, Art Life comes by once in a while, I think. Like I said, I don't get out much.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, Lewis. Thanks.
Okay.
And Ed's just going to stand there and watch him close that door. And
Oh,
then just going to sit there and listen.
Okay. Yeah.
You have a good night.
Nice. Thank you. And you hear the door close, and you're just kind of standing there, and there's a little bit of time. You hear him walk back across the room, and you hear again this kind of scraping noise along the ground, and then he there's a little bit of a pause, and you hear yeah, but how do you even know which ones? No, I'm doing it right. Okay. What did your hands look like after the, with the water? Okay. Is this the room where you did that? But where did the bodies go after? Okay, yeah, yeah. And you're hearing kind of interspersed because you're really close. You can hear scritching on paper.
Okay. So I'm going to turn and look at the other agents and just... So they noted, and then once it gets done and it's just quiet.
Yeah, he kind of asks, like,
Yeah.
wraps up his questions, and you can just hear the pencil.
Yeah.
Going.
Updraft goes over. It's like, I don't know who he's talking to. But he's dragging something around in there. I mean, archetypes, right? But he's weird even for this building. But he did say Abigail hooked up with some dude upstairs. Moved in with him. Threw a party several months ago. I'm still not convinced that all that epoxy isn't just an art installation. I don't know if that actually has anything to do with her disappearance.
It may not. Did he say anything about the super or the night?
He didn't know. He didn't know who the hell does maintenance around here. He had no idea there was a super or a night manager. He said Art Life owns this building, and they come around every couple. We can Alta Vista that.
Well, I guess we can keep knocking on doors to see what happens. And perhaps every resident we come across will be stranger than the last.
God, I hope not.
I have a feeling about this building. They don't call us out for just nothing. So, I think that's the best thing we can do for now is just continue to go through and talk to everybody. Somebody has to be able to get us in touch with Mr. Chastain or with the superintendent. Even if this Lewis guy is quite obviously a quack of some kind.
I mean, I don't know. All right, y'all want to go check the other doors?
Yeah.
Certainly.
When they go check the other doors, Updraft is going to post up next to Michelle's door and just stand and listen real quiet.
Okay. Yeah.
Hear if
Do
there's
a
anything moving in there.
yeah. Do an alertness roll for me if you would.
Let's see. 22. I knew I'd get one
Ooh,
eventually.
critical.
You just got to try
perfect.
enough.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You roll enough dice, eventually you'll pass.
Yeah, you can only get a 98 so many times. God.
So what you hear is because you've got a critical the hallway goes quiet as they're going around. You kind of hear the faint knock knock knock, and what you hear from the other side are these echoing footsteps approaching, and they take a turn. You think you're kind of just like you're listening. You know how it sounds like they're getting closer, they turn. You hear the sound of the shuffling of paper on paper, like books, and then the ladder gets climbed down again, and you hear this echoing sound as the footsteps retreat, and then it's silent again.
That's coming from the other side of her door.
Correct.
So footsteps climbing a ladder up or down, or up then down, shuffling of papers, and then footsteps.
Right.
Okay, so there is someone in there.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, Ed's going to post up, like I said, next to the door, and he's just going to stay right there and watch the other two while listening for what's going on inside.
Let's jump
Oh,
down.
behind, real quick,
Yeah.
he's standing off to the side, not in
Yeah,
front of the
right.
peephole. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, right there. Right next to the people.
Like looking into it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I hope there's no one in there.
Watching you.
I see you, Van Fitz. I see you.
Watching you, Van Fitz.
Downstairs, in Abby's room, Agent Unicorn, you have gone through the various boxes. You've kind of accounted, like you were saying, oh, maybe we want a tripod or something. Maybe we want some lights for nighttime. You're you're making pretty good. Like, oh, you're like, those better be battery powered because the outlets are probably all covered in here, right? Like,
Yep.
With epoxy. This is a health hazard for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. What are you doing after you kind of check the base contents?
So I check the base contents, figure out what we need, and I want to kind of sketch out the room, right?
Okay.
And grid it out in my sketch. I want to make a grid pattern in my sketch so that we can methodically go through this room and you know, categorize A, 1, 2, 3, kind of split the wall into heights and then sections about the same width. And as I'm doing that, at some point I want to go up, and I'm sure there's like a sample kit or something they have in the box, like evidence bags and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, lots of evidence bags.
And I want to take a knife and I want to try to scrape some of that epoxy off into an evidence bag. So
Okay.
I want to know what type. Like we probably want to know what type it is. We can research it, what dissolves it, where it was bought. How do you get this much epoxy? Like,
yeah.
You're not gonna buy this at the Ace Hardware down the street. Like, I forgot
Clear 'em
that
out,
you know
yeah.
this is pre Home Depot days.
Right.
And anything else that really just stands out to me in this.
Yeah, go ahead and do another search roll since you're kind of spending a good chunk of time looking.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, 45 out of 60.
All right. So you're gridding this out. Your Agent Unicorn is doing the work of going throughout, and you hit this one napkin that's just kind of covering something, and you just see it. You kind of lift the napkin, and you can see under it there is this. There's a covering like napkin to it, and then beneath it is another piece of paper that has this symbol on it. And you're kind of looking, it's a kind of across from the door, so that if people are just walking into the room, if this top paper is gone, anybody can see it. Go ahead and roll sanity, please.
Oh, goody. Oh no, that's a fail.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d4.
Caltrops, where are you? There you go. Oh, 1.
1. All right. Not so bad. You're like, you kind of pick this up, you look at it, and you have a flashback to the beach. It's a July day. The sun is nice. You're much younger. And your sons are playing in the water. And it's just a nice day. The birds are singing, everything's so happy, and you turn around. You're doing some work around the area, and when you turn back, you see Eric. He's face down in the water. And you haven't, like, that memory's probably never that far away from you. You remember that day and what happened. And you kind of snap back to just looking at the symbol on the wall, and you just have that same kind of melancholy, that anxiety, that moment of discovery of seeing your son in the water. That's what this, that's really kind of the emotion that this hits in you.
It's wicked stuff. This is not right. Definitely want to, I want to leave it where it is, and leave it covered up and identify it, like mark it. But this is, I'm going to have to go sit down at somewhere on the toilet, I guess. I'm going to have to go sit on the toilet. It's the only place to sit down and kind of use my tools and work myself back down because that's a very traumatic time for me.
Mhm.
And yeah,
So meanwhile,
definitely.
while Agent Unicorn's recovering on the toilet, we cut upstairs. Agent Ursine and Undyne, you're knocking on the doors. Um, you're not getting a response, but it's one of those you kind of know when you knock on an empty apartment. Ain't nobody here.
Nobody in this one.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like anyone's moving around inside.
All right. I'm gonna look at my watch. How long has it been since we left Gran downstairs?
It's been probably about, we'll say, 30-ish minutes. It doesn't take you that long time. You just kind of paused at the doors a couple times. So not bad.
Okay. I think I'd like to go upstairs. Maybe this encyclopedia salesman will know something about where Abigail is.
That seems reasonable.
Okay.
And I just kind of look at Updraft and like motion towards the door. Where you staying?
Yeah, Updraft's gonna be like, yeah, let's go upstairs, and he motions.
Okay.
All
Thumbs
right.
up. And then we head upstairs.
All right. And you see, once again, it looks a lot like the previous floor. I will note that on the map, you'll probably see it's referred to as ground, first, and second. I'm doing 1, 2, 3 because that's more typical here. But yeah, you get up to the third floor. And what are you guys doing? It kind of has that dusty feel to it again.
I mean, this building has a lot of floors.
Just
How many more does it have?
You looked from the outside. It's 3 stories tall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
You
smaller
said
than
it's
I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
he
it's
said it
3
was
stories.
3.
Yeah, it's 3 stories.
Hmm.
All right. I guess I'll just do this one and I'll pick the one that's kind of like if I came in and I'm going clockwise from the hallway.
Okay.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. Is this hallway dusty or dirty?
Yeah, it's a little dusty.
I'm going to lean down and look for a hand cart, like trails of 2 heavy wheels or 4 being pulled up and down. Are there lines in the
yeah.
floor?
You kind of look at the floor because yeah, it's a little dusty. You see 2 things pretty easily. The first is there are footsteps that have gone up this level
Mhm.
and then continued kind of turned the stair corner and continued up, it looks like, to the roof.
Mhm.
But you're looking at those, so you're not seeing drag marks, but you look to the side and you see dog footprints.
Where are they headed?
They're just kind of running around the hall, it looks like.
There's a dog in the play, isn't there?
Yes, there was.
There's a dog on this hall somewhere.
It would appear to be. Yeah.
Oh, I know what. What do we have that we can make a loud noise with? Is there anything like a? Oh, is there like a welcome mat laying around anywhere?
No, not. No, you're kind of going, oh, huh. Yeah, this level doesn't have a lot going on in it.
We could just loudly knock.
Yeah, let's start with the first door and we'll listen for a dog.
You get the doors, and I'll assume you kind of continue as you're carefully listening at each door. And you're not hearing anything. And then you hear kind of above, like, the stairs are getting hit. You know when you have a big dog and they're skittering down the stairs? You see this, or you hear rather, this thump, 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 and then a crash against the wall behind the stairs. Agent Updraft, you see a great big dog. Let me remind myself of what exactly.
I didn't go upstairs.
Oh, you didn't go
No,
upstairs.
I motioned for the others to go upstairs.
I
stayed
see.
at
You're
that door.
still. In that
Yeah.
case, the other two of you hear the sounds of something hitting the wall and continuing down to the floor below, but you do not see a dog.
And the stairs stop on our floor.
There's a roof.
There's a roof. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like something came down from the roof to the stairs next to us.
Yep. Hit the back wall, kind of like it just tried to skid, like big dogs kind of they're
A wall
Goofs,
which we can
yeah.
see from where we're standing.
yes, it's the hallway wall, like the one that's against the stairs. And then you hear footprints, paws descending the stairs below.
Ursine,
Yes.
did you see or not see that?
I didn't see anything. I heard plenty, but I didn't see anything.
A dog just ran past us.
That's what it sounded like. Do you think maybe we should go downstairs and
Yeah,
see?
this building is what I like to call influenced.
Hmm.
It is under the influence of something. And I pull out my notepad. I think I need to get to a library and get my hands on a Lesser Key of Solomon. They're not that uncommon. I mean, you can get them in a curious goods shop. They're Bible print and mass produced, but when occultism was all the rage. But it'll tell us more about this person. If I remember, he's a king of hell, one of the bigwigs.
That's interesting. Well, it's got to have something to do with what's going on here, but I would like to know more about this building.
Yeah, we need to get those blueprints. We can get them from the town hall or equivalent. Maybe there's a hall of records or equivalent here. I don't know New York very well, but
Yes, I think we should go to the government office that would have that
full of records.
tomorrow.
Wherever the Hall of Records is kept.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, I think we should do that tomorrow. It's a little late to be doing that.
Yeah. Let's go
Um,
back downstairs.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah,
It may not be a
this is
good
giving me
idea.
the creeps.
Yeah, we should probably stick together.
We'll
Agreed.
cut to Agent Updraft. You're listening at the door, right? And you hear ka-thunk, 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 thud, ka-thunk, 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 thud, thunk, 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 thunk. And you see this great gray mastiff hit the wall on the other side, and it takes off again, like it's skittering on the carpet a little bit. It's so excited, and it's just one of those dogs that's got like a smile on its face. And you see it takes off downstairs.
So when he hears that, he's going to listen harder at this door and see if whoever is shuffling in there reacts to it.
No.
Okay. And so I saw the Mastiff head downstairs.
Yeah.
All right. So Updraft's going to follow this dog.
All right. Yeah. Because you kind of paused. It got ahead of you at this side, and you kind of heard it thud and take off, and you follow it down to the bottom, and you look around. The front door is closed to the apartment. You don't see the dog anywhere.
I'll go check on Gran.
All right. Yeah, and we kind of, Gran, you're composing yourself on the toilet when Agent Updraft unlocks the door and
Yeah.
enters.
Hey, Sam, you all right in here?
I'll take a moment and kind of. Yeah, I'm just in the toilet room here, just powdering my nose a little bit. I'll be out in just a moment. By the way, have you seen the yellow sign?
Look around for a sign.
Yeah, there's that piece of paper across the wall. Go ahead and roll sanity.
Right. 64.
All right.
Survive.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels a little funky to your kind of senses, but it's just
Do I
a
recognize it?
image. No.
Okay.
And I'll come out about then, and I guess I see him there standing there looking at it. I'll walk over. There's something wrong with that thing. The minute I touched it, I had this memory that I thought I had dealt with a long time ago. One of the worst days of my life. My little Eric, he drowned. He was 8 years old, and he drowned. And there I was on that beach that same day. It all happened like it was brand new, like it was just now. And then I came back and it was standing there and staring at it. I'd never seen this thing before in my life. I don't know. Something weird going on here. Demons and devils and kings of hell. What have I got wrapped myself up into? It's supposed to have been a Bigfoot.
Oh, no. You didn't hear the dog come downstairs?
Dog? No, I didn't hear no dogs. Sunny guys.
Swore I saw a big mastiff run down here. Okay. Well, what have you got going on in here? You need a hand with any of this?
Okay, so I started right by the door and worked the room, from the door around, all the way left to right, all the way around. And that's and start the ceiling is 1, so we got it gridded out. It's A 1, 2, 3, verticals are numbers, horizontals are letters, right? So you got A, B, C, and then 1, 2, 3. So when we're cataloging stuff, everybody can just pick a wall, and then it's gridded out, and that's your wall, and you can catalog everything down that way. This yellow sign, why do I keep thinking about that? I might have to see my therapist when I get home.
What is the sign on? It's just a piece of paper,
It's just
right?
a piece of paper, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I can pick it up?
Yeah, you'd have to rip it off the wall. It's stuck to it pretty good, but yeah, you could rip it if you wanted to.
Okay, so it's stuck to the epoxy,
Yeah, right.
but it's not underneath the epoxy.
Correct. Yeah, you'd be able. Some of the edges would probably get stuck, but
Yeah.
you could probably rip it off.
All right. So
Oh, go ahead. I just had
No.
a thought, but
go ahead.
in proximity or relationship to the sigil that we found, where is the yellow sign on the wall? Is it
Good. Yes. The yellow sign is across from the door. The sigil for Person was close to the window. So if we were talking, my map went goodbye. Don't do that. I believe it would be south for. Yeah, the south wall would have the symbol for the yellow sign, and the kind of that big window that's there next to that on the east side would have the symbol for Person.
Okay. So the sigil is on the wall next to the window or on the window itself?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
it's next to the window. Yeah. And about that point, Ursine and Undine, you can catch up I think that you were headed downstairs, right?
Yep.
Yeah. How are
And-
things going in here?
Did y'all see the dog? It came
I
from
heard
up there.
the dog. I did not see it. I heard it.
It was huge. It was just a big mastiff. Like,
It certainly sounded large.
y'all didn't see it? Y'all didn't
Did
see where
not
it came
see
from?
it. I heard it. I did not see it.
Updraft, it ran right past us, but it wasn't there.
Hmm.
Invisible dogs. Oh.
There's footprints of the dog running up and down the hall.
Ooh.
Always seemed rather it seems rather empty on that floor as well. We knocked and there was nothing. We could have gone to the roof, but we decided that we should, regroup here and figure out what you have seen, and whether or not Gran has found anything in this room of note.
We're beginning to notice unnatural events like that.
And about this time, I'll just turn and look at both of them, and I'm glad you're back. Have you seen the yellow sign?
What sign?
And I'll just kind of, well, he's got it. Did you take it off yet, or I can't remember.
I
if
was
you
in the
pulled-
process. I was
Yeah.
in the process
Oh,
of
that one.
getting it off. I asked all the questions to do it. So
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go over there and look.
All right, roll
I would-
stand, you two. Yeah.
yeah, I have it. I have it folded up. It's in my hand.
Okay.
So I'll
yeah.
offer it. I'll offer it because to me it's just weird occult stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something I'm not familiar with. Might be more in their wheelhouse. So if they open it, that's on them.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna
Just
open it.
naturally look at it.
Yeah.
All right, both of you roll sanity. Poor favor.
Oh, I
Right,
missed it by
39.
one.
I'm good.
Agent Undine, please roll a D4.
Two.
All right, 2 sanity, and none for. It sounds like you passed, correct, Agent
That
Ursine?
is correct.
Okay. Don, looking at this, and kind of I think where we'll wrap up tonight is you're running, and you've got someone next to you. What was your friend's name that you went running for the day?
The
Yeah.
officer. Keep going. I have to look his name up. But yeah, he was assigned to me. He wasn't really a close friend. So.
Right. Yeah. He got assigned to you, and he's running. He's kind of keeping up, but you're in pretty good shape. You're catching it, but the real reason of the running isn't necessarily to run today. You're looking for something, and your friend, your assigned partner, is kind of. Give me a second. I wasn't ready for this. Jeez. And you look back, and that's the first time you saw it. This thing running full tilt, faster than a human should be able to run.
Mhm.
Its fur is kind of catching in the wind. It's got these manic red eyes, and it's bearing down on your friend, and you just remember that helplessness you felt watching this thing. There was barely any time to warn him as it reaches him, and you remember very well what happens to this man. And that helplessness is kind of what causes the sand loss as you're brought back to the present, looking at this folded piece of paper with the symbol on it.
And is it the yellow sign?
It is the yellow sign.
How common is that within our occult knowledge? Because it's
Nope.
pretty obscure. Okay,
This
gotcha.
is, you would have no idea what this
Okay.
is.
So Don has that 1,000-mile stare.
And that's, I think, a good cutting point for folks to think about what they want to do. Sounds like people are wrapping up for the night and going to be doing stuff the following day.
Indeed. Sounds good.
Right.
Wow.
Stopping point.
Oh wow. Well, thank you, Nathan. That was fun.
Yes.
Getting
Thanks
into
for
this
running.
new character, playing someone who's not just a spazoistic like idiot like I normally do. I'm actually having to really get into this, so I'm enjoying this. Enjoying playing with everybody too. Y'all are great,
Yeah.
Thank
great
you.
cast.
Yeah, enjoying
Um,
it so far.
Loving it. So, folks, if you enjoyed this, we know we had a little technical difficulty earlier, but we got the stream in. We'll put it up on the VODs for you. If you enjoyed this, make sure you give us a follow or a sub, depending on where you were watching us. Tune in Friday night, Saturdays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays for all of our streams. Make sure you're in our Discord so you can follow the stream schedule in our Discord channels. But that's going to do it for us tonight on the United Adventure Company. We will see you next time. Remember, deception is a right, truth is a privilege, and innocence is a luxury. Stay safe, everyone. Good night.